Are we on? Aha! Let me stop. What's good, Mo fam? This your girl back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know what it is. It is what? Speak on It Fridays. That's when I see something that keep popping up on my timeline, whether it is from Facebook or Instagram, and your girl gotta speak on it. Like, why wouldn't I? Come on, like, for what? But again, make sure your bell notification is on so you know when your girl is coming back. Drop it another video. So basically, this topic that I'm going to speak on is near dear to my heart. It's something that we face throughout our time, whether we was in school, whether we, even our own families, we face this topic, which is what? Colorism. Yes. And some people may think, what? Like, nah, I never faced that. Well, good. If you lived in the world, you never faced any type of colorism, any type of racism, well, the Lord has been on your side. But as for me, I can't speak that because I have. So basically, the word colorism, I'm going to give you guys a definition. I wrote it down. And I'm also going to have it pop up on the screen so you guys can get the logistics of this word. So, colorism, prejudice, or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. And I'm gonna say this part one more time so we clear what we talking about. It's not nobody else. We talking. Typically among people among the same ethnic or racial group. I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing games. So this week I've been seeing on Facebook and Instagram this word keep popping up, whether it was people in the entertainment business talking about it or whether it was people, just regular schmegular people like me and you, talking about colorism, canceling people, and racism. So I decided to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. Let me speak out. So basically, oftentimes we as individuals, right? We want to say, well, I feel like I'm being discriminated, or I feel like this person is being prejudiced because of my skin tone. And oftentimes we are right. I have been in situations where, you know, I see people in videos, entertainment, rappers. What do we see? We see them putting what? The more of a lighter person, lighter woman in the forefront and leave the darker tone skinned women in the back. Oftentimes we even see women of color or even men say, oh my gosh, you're so pretty to be dark skinned. And I'm thinking to myself, why they just can't be pretty? Like, why do we as individuals of an ethnic group do this to each other? Oh yeah, girl, you'll be so, if you, oh, you'll be this, there'll be what? They'll still be the same person. So, and we even can go back to even athletes and people that's in a powerful position that when they growing up, they dating the dark skin tone woman, and when they get a little bit of money, a bag, what they do? They trade the darker skin tone woman for another woman that's not dark. So I'm like, wow, I'm really confused. Like, how can we as an ethnic group live in a mindset where we allow colorism to still be a topic in 2021? And then I had to sit and think, okay, cool. It goes way back to our ancestors and what they had to go through, the trauma of colorism, where the lighter skinned women that was mulatto, good hair, was made to be in the house, versus the darker skin tone women that had like nice, pretty, kinky hair, natural was made to work in the fields. So you can see where that already was a division. Not even, and now going back to where our ancestors was, we was made to, not be united. So generations later, we still gonna have that same mindset. So I've been seeing a lot of celebrities coming out expressing their concerns about the prejudice and the discrimination that darker skinned women have to face. And like I said, I'm sure dark skinned women, they face problems all the time. Their complexion, certain, just being discriminated in overall general. But I don't even think it's a dark skin problem. It's a woman problem, because it's the fact that even me being this complexion, I was discriminated as well too. Because first thing people think is when they see me, oh, she may be stuck up, or oh, because, and I'm thinking like, no, that's not even the case. I feel like darker.
No one knows, because it's all made up and varies from person to person, and yet there is a very clear understanding amongst most people that Drake is light-skinned and Lupita Nyong'o is dark-skinned. At the time, I thought, that's plausible. There are people who are light-skinned, brown-skinned, and dark-skinned. And in my Brooklyn middle school full of black people, I thought there was no divide between said shades of black. I mean, everyone hung out with everyone, and everyone was generally respected, even if there was the occasional, yo, you mad dark. Basically, there were other things that we as kids focused on that determined our social stratification. Then I went to high school, and I began to notice a couple of things. I realized that the world around me was a little biased towards people with lighter skin. I realized girls with lighter skin got more likes and comments on Instagram, and that guys I liked only went after certain kind of girls. I also realized that darker people were not being represented in the TV shows and movies that I was watching. And if they were the ghetto, all up in your face like this, secondary character. However, the effects colorism had on me at the time were things I thought I can avoid and even counter by not giving it my energy and living my life. And so I did. And for a while, it worked, because I managed to convince myself if I could separate myself from the
darker tone women and lighter caramel, whatever you want to call yourselves, we gotta make it right. We got to get over this thing pinning each other, one another against each other. Because at the end of the day, queens, we have so much more problems than to be, calling each other or being a certain way with one another. And it stems for the men too. Like, we gotta start bigging up our queens. I even see this on Facebook or Instagram where a light-skinned version, a lighter woman, a lighter girl, whatever, a lighter queen can say, well, I'm doing this for my light-skinned baddies. Like, sis, let's do it for everybody. Why do we have to single out a group of individuals? Just say we all beautiful. We all have this melanin in our body that we as women, we gotta stop tearing each other down. And I can even go to different races where you don't see these other Caucasians or Asians or Indian women coming from that I know of. I'm sure it's out there, but we don't see it public like we see us constantly trying to tear each other down. Like I said, this stems even in, I can even take it into depth where the insecurities of a dark skin or a light skin or whatever you refer to yourself to, it stems from home. There are certain family members and families and communities where if you're not light, and if they have two children, one is dark and one is light, the light skin, whether it would be boy or girl, would get treated better than the darker skin individual. And I've heard this throughout my years, and I would be like, wow, I never knew that exists. I didn't. And we gotta start bigging each other up. Whether you're a parent, a godparent, auntie, uncle, we are all shades of beautiful. Period. And I want us to do better as far as trying to tear each other down when it comes to this colorism, when it comes to canceling people. And I just, for the life of me, instead of us canceling people Let's educate them. Like, let's educate them. Sometimes the way people think is because of the way they was brought up. Yeah, like the way that people think is their environment. So if a woman come out and she say foolishness about another sister, instead of canceling her or thinking she's racist, whatever the case may be, educate her. Don't try to tear another sister down to try to prove a point. It just doesn't make sense. We want to be able to heal. We want to be able to move forward when it comes to our race, when it comes to, things that has been traumatic for us, going back to our ancestors. So now that we're in a position right now, I feel like we can change the narrative as women, as men. We can change the narrative of what we see colorism and educate each other on, we go do it differently. Oh no, queen, that was offensive. Or let me school you on why I feel like, my dark skin or the way I feel because of X, Y, and Z. So that's what I wanted to bring to you guys today, to charge you. Even in my own experience when I was younger, I was never bullied, thank God, but I did see people that, was my friends that was a little bit more on the darker skin, tone. They was bullied. And it really was sad. I mean, it really, broke my heart as an individual. Now raising kids and, they all look like they don't all have the same skin tone. So it's like, damn, like it's sad to see our own race try to bully another individual because of the skin tone. It just saddens me. It breaks my heart. So, I'm learning as I am, parenting, to validate my children every single day. I'm validating them on, oh, I love your lips. Oh, I love your eyes. I love the, the texture of your hair. My son, he's a little bit, his skin tone is a little bit more on the dark tone. And I'm like, baby, I love your skin. It's so this, it's so that. Oh, my daughter, I love your brown cinnamon hair. Because sometimes she don't like the color of her hair. I'm like, oh no, you this, you that. We got to validate our children so that when they get adults, they don't come for a whole race of females. Because we see that where somebody in the household was treated mean because they color of their skin, or they was taught to think that light skin is right. They was taught to think that dark skin is right. And when they get adults, they're trying to tear another individual down. I always say it starts at home. These behaviors that we see these women carrying on, it's funny to me because it's a behavior thing. It's like they was raised in an environment to think that we can be prejudiced, and we have the audacity to be prejudiced. Are you serious? So you raised in a household where mom and daddy then treated your sister okay because you was dark skinned, boom. So when you get an adult, either you hurt. And we don't blame you, queen. We just blame the people that raised you, because like I said, children are sponges. And I always say it comes from the home, how we act, how we just go about our day-to-day life trying to tear each other down. It's not, listen, it's how the individual was raised. That's why I'm saying we have to. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would be better that when you have children and have nieces and nephews and godkids, that we are constantly validating them. It's the validation for me, so that when they get older, we can break this curse. We can break the cycle of colorism and prejudice and hating on one another. We see people, I see people that I've known because there was a darker skin tone. They hated their complexion, and what they started doing, they started bleaching. And I'm like, girl, you don't even have to do that. You don't. And like I said, we don't know how it is to be in someone else's shoes for granted. We all have our own story. But it's that self-hatred. where, like I said, childhood, you was raised in a household, whether you was the only child, whether you had siblings that was like it, it's that self-hatred. So my thing is that how do we as a ethnic community change it? Stop it. Rewrite the narrative. Let's go back to the drawing board to see how can we try to do things right for us, for our I think, you know, I think we owe it to ourselves to do better as far as the way we talk to one another, the way we interact with one another. And all this, like I said, dark skin baddie, light skin baddie, exotic, whatever y'all want to call it, we are fearfully, wonderfully made. We are made in an image. So we should love ourselves. Love God for making us who we are. Period. Like I said, I want to stop seeing women being pitted against each other. I want to see that stop. I want to be able to see us all come together or congratulating one another. It should not be no hate amongst women. And we see that, you know, I was saying this week that one thing, women is funny. I always say that women is really funny. I actually prefer, me personally, I have women as friends. I do. They're a little older than me. They really older than me. I have a couple of females that's on the same age as me, but most of my, you know, close friends, female friends, are actually way older than me. So I was saying this week that the cattiness, the judgmentalness, yeah, I just made up that word, cool. It got to stop. It's like we as women, we should be so united in a way where if I need something, a blueprint to something to start up my, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, hey girl, I'm giving it to you. It should never be, I'm only looking out for myself. And that's what women do sometimes. It's like they make it to a place where they have obtained success, whether it's an entertainment business, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's just whatever career path you chose, right? And it's like, okay, I have a successful, let me give you an example. Okay, I have a successful beauty salon, right? Down the block. Boom, check it. I know somebody wants to open another beauty salon right on the same block as I am. So she comes to me, asks me, oh, yada, 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 how can I do this? And I'm so afraid, or maybe I'm so the competition, like, now I don't know she gonna take on my clientele, that I just hold whatever I hold on to the blueprint to make another successful woman, because I don't, why would I'm selfish? Like, why would I give you the blueprint to how I got successful? Like, nah, I'm keeping it to myself. And like, no, you have to make your own way. And that is so selfish. No, by the way, I don't own a beauty supply. Beauty supply, I'm just giving an example. It's beyond beauty supply salon. It's just that different. Oh God, this flies in my mouth. It's like, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. We gotta stop trying to be selfish with one another. Like I said, the prejudice, the colorism, it just needs to stop. We as individuals, we should be trying to rebuild our community, trying to help one another obtain and live in success. And that's what it is. Like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It's Speak on the Fridays. And like I said, whatever I see, I'm going to speak on it. This subject, I could have went in depth, but I'm going to drop some clips so you guys can get the logistics of different interviews, different people speaking about their experiences. Like I said, I really don't, like, I didn't really have a The only thing that I really did go through was, you know, people calling me light bright, or if I'm in a restaurant, or let me see, a cab driver not want to pick me up because of the tone of my skin, or let me see, or guys when I used to date, they used to think I was, you know, whatever their perception was, because they thought I was gonna be bougie because of my complexion. No, what the heck? No, what? No. And then when they finally got with me, they're like, oh wow, Niqua, like, dag, like, you really different. Exactly. So I really didn't get picked on. Only little, like I said, little stuff that I just dropped right now. But like I said, in my adult years, as I got older, when I was working in different places, people were like, oh, I think she gonna be stuck up because this and third, because the complexion. And I used to be like, no, why would you? That would be their first impression of me. And when we become friends, it'd be like, Dad, that's what you thought of me? Sheesh. Like I said, let's continue to rebuild.
As a light-skinned African-American woman, I can tell you, like, yes, I have darker family members. I see what they face and what they deal with. I don't tolerate it. I was never raised in my family to tolerate it. At the same time, though, being a light-skinned girl, you get called names. You get called light bright. You get called high yellow. This is a red bone. This is a reality every day. And they make you feel as if you're alienated. You're not black enough. You're alienated from your own people. You're never black enough. Your long hair automatically means you think you're all that. Your light skin automatically makes you think you're pretty. But we're still black in America. None of us feel advantaged.
But look, here's the piece that I find very interesting, is that both the dark and the light are experiencing the same things at different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because you got insulted by being called high yellow or red bone, but somebody being called a coon, a jigaboo, and a monkey, you understand, tar baby.
We're called that too. We're called that too. We're called coon and jigaboo and all of those same things too. We're still called that. On top of light bright and all those other things, we're still also
So
called
the
that.
outside world that sees you as just a black person heaps the black stuff on you.
Exactly.
And then within the community, you get it. Wow.
Yeah. I think that the healing really is going to begin when each of us look at each other and validate each other's experience. Yes. That's when the healing really begins.
A wound needs a witness.
Exactly right. When we can look at a
That's the tweet, people. A wound needs a witness.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. More than anything tonight, I think there have been, just like the Twitter that just said, you know, not knowing that light-skinned women had painful experiences, that's opening up the wound and opening up the opportunity for a conversation.
Our queens, when they from young, toddlers, babies, infancy, so that when they are full-fledged women like us, they could see where the colorism is coming from, and we just shut it down. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm slipping. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. Let's keep growing, glowing. Let me see. Because you know, every Friday I gotta like drop a little juju. Let me see. Let's keep glowing, growing, getting, healing. Peace.